me. And I think Train's the big pivot map for whoever's going to win. Train is going to win the series. I think it's going to be the Boars, though, and I think it's going to be a 2-1, as we talked about.
Okay, yeah, I think I'd maybe edge towards that 2-1 as well. We'll see. Like, as you say, Train is the all-important kind of decider. In terms of players, I'm going to say Tao and Impulse. Tao, for me, really, really impressed. It does look like our friends at LootBet, of course, our primary betting partner, are going in favor of IZAKO BOARS. Not by too much, but by a decent margin coming into Train. So bear that in mind. I suppose IZAKO BOARS starting on the T side, that's always something to consider. They definitely are going to have to get off to that strong start that we always talk about. Don't want to be getting rolled over, and a lovely pistol coming through from LVLUP, countering the B rush completely. 3 players pushing in, 2 at the ramp, 1 at heaven, and not a single chance in that round for IZAKO BOARS. I think they found 1 kill and that was it.
Yeah, what B hit?
Like, yeah,
absolutely rocked. LVLUP running into them like a rhino. Okay, I'm starting to understand the logo here. That all makes sense now. I said they're going to be aggressive, and how often have you seen 4 players push B on a CT side Train pistol script? It doesn't really happen. You see 1, 2 max, right? 1 lower, 1 upper, but they did it in force, and they did it with numbers. IZAKO BOARS going to be forcing on this T side. The typical Deagles and Scouts. Tao could be in a world of hurt. That Molly sends him packing 5 HP. The Scouter's down to 23 himself. And when you take this much damage and you don't get a pick for it, that always stings a little bit, Scriv.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. May well kick themselves later into the round. We'll see how it develops, of course. But slowing down here, about a minute gone. You know, we have those initial exchanges. No one coming out on top as yet. I think IZAKO BOARS would definitely take a situation like that where they still have everyone left. They still have the bare minimum utility that they're coming into this round with, which I think was the plan. A bomb plant, some damage is the basic goal here. And with the smokes coming over the top, the attack will come through. Dimka a bit of an off angle, so very blind. I think a little bit by his teammate, but it's all good because Necrogenesis comes in with a double. They're standing strong over at E-Box. The 1 frag does come back in for the T side, but that looks like all she wrote. Sui on 18 HP. Surely not a chance to get any more. No, not going to be the case, and he will get taken down. So relatively clean stuff coming in from LVLUP for that second round.
Whew. As clean as they want it. And now they get a transition to a third. These LVLUP boys, Scriv, somehow they've escaped me throughout all of the cups we've been doing over the last couple months.
Yeah,
haven't
same.
seen them once. They've just been very elusive. Clearly been playing a lot of CS in the last 3 months. If you look at their HLTV page, they've just escaped us. Necro gonna get 1, Impulse gonna get in as well, and that should just be that. Impulse upset that that spray wasn't as clean as he wants. He'll go back and just practice it. That's always good. Practice makes perfect, Impulse. And here we go for the Boars. Up onto Axis. AKs for the rest, Scriv. What's their first rifle round going to look like? Will it shape up into a safe default? They like Ivy defaults. They also are not afraid to do the very spread passive default, right? 2 Ivy, 2 in towards upper halls B. These guys mix it up, and that's what I admire about them. And so far, it seems like they're going to send 2 into B, 1 passive T-con, maybe late Ivy control. But this screams we're going to take control towards B, and then either, if we work a pick B, go there. If not, fall back on our morals, or merits, I should say, towards A. Unless they have morals towards A. Who knows? I don't know their morals.
Well, I mean, you judge by the very nature of what they're trying to do here. Their morals are not fantastic.
Yeah.
Needed to tiptoe through that one without offending. Oh, what's happened here? You gonna knife him? Tao. It's rude.
He's going for 2.
It's rude. It's rude. I feel like just take the kill. He might spin around any second.
This is a little awkward, yeah.
I think ultimately, although yes, he could knife him, he's also waiting to see if any other CTs reveal themselves.
Exactly.
And the amount of control that they have is just massive.
Yeah, this gives Tao so much information, right? Because the fact that D is back green jiggling Ivy means they have ladder control. It means they're playing a bit aggressive towards T-Con, and Tao's just going to eventually take the kill and force someone to have to deal with him. The ladder player is going to be stuck. There's 2 players in towards B, but they're doing this on the back that they think they pulled a rotate out script, but they didn't. Tao's going to have to frag out, and he will, leaving just Necro. A 1v3, and Exus is not going to let it happen, so that was really cool from the boards. They thought Tao's kill would pull the player out of B. Not the case, but it doesn't matter. They get the entry frags anyhow. And it works out in the end there, Scriv. And can I just call him Necro? Is that fair? Or does he want the whole thing, Necrogenesis?
I mean, HLTV, you know, does have the full okay. 9 yards.
I will respect the full thing then.
Yeah, I'm fairly happy to go through with a bit of both. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, a little switch up. Okay.
Yeah, just make it interesting, I guess. Either way, pretty big round from the IZAKO balls coming in. Smart moves all over the shop. Hopefully level up, learn their lesson. They're not going to allow such a gap in the defense to be exploited again. Bit of early damage done. Not too much coming, although we might see some action here. A flash, perhaps, or are they just walking their way in? They are just going to take the control freely. However, Shane is on the other side of things, holding it down, ready for this, and so ready for this. He finds both of them. That is incredibly clean. A really tough angle for the CTs, to be fair, but all the same, brilliant stuff, and that'll give IZAKO Balls a fat advantage to work with. The double up setup still in play. Certainly got to be aware of this. Certainly got to be respectful of this fact. D able to drop Shane. Does take a fair amount of damage on the way out. At the very least, they're remaining competitive here as he finds another, the hero of the round, perhaps, but too good to be true. AVN going to be the only one left. He can't find anything, and IZAKO Balls will secure the second. Some pretty dominant rifle rounds to begin with.
Wow, yeah, these AKs come out and they make them sing, don't they? Kind of what we've come to expect with the boards, though. They're really deadly in rifle rounds. Force buys and ecos aren't really their strength from what we've been able to see in the past, but they really do thrive once they build up that money, once they get these guns out, as most teams do. But, you know, some teams do like the pistols and are able to steal some rounds here and there. But the rifles is really where the boars will thrive. As Necro gonna get tagged up early. Exus just doing what he does, working a pick with Shane. And this is just gonna be a formality, a quick walkthrough, a necessity before we get to round 7. And a 3-3 early is gonna be great for the boars. This means the CT's money has been broken. Exus is just caught in no man's land. And I think they're just gonna group and probably head towards a site together now at this point. They've taken some damage, they've only found a kill. And yeah, they're just gonna let the rifles lead. Probably just walk out to the A side like they own it, throw a couple smoke scriv, keep it simple. And then we'll move on to 7 very swiftly. But you never know. A couple Zeuses and this round can still turn on its head, but unlikely to be modest. But I was gonna say the timing here is good, but it is being held.
I mean, you very rarely see one Zeus in a round, so seeing 2 is kind of comical. I suppose train one of the better maps for them, if you think about it. A lot of really good angles you can utilize those Zeuses in. Here we go, coming out onto A. D actually finding 2 on the USP. What the hell's happened here? So much damage done. He almost gets a 3rd there, actually, onto Sui, but not going to be the case. However, as we always say, any damage is good damage from level up. Bit of money made by D, particularly finding those 2 frags, which is really going to help him out. Allows him to get the chest armor in. Where he may not have been able to do that. I think he dropped an AWP across to Impulse and almost by, you know, the very thin whiskers on his chin, he's able to get the M4 and armor out. We'll see coming into this one, though. Level Up probably going to need to get a rifle round on the board. They are starting to drop behind. That CT economy we always talk about as being super rough, super tough to get a finger on. It is starting to rear its ugly head here, and they are falling somewhat flat. And the thing is, as well, these rifle rounds have not been coming all that close. You know, it's been 3-4 players surviving for the T side. Although the economy modest on some of the players, because there is constant damage. They are constantly having to buy up. It's not as much as maybe Level Up would want. Ooh, Impulse, almost getting both of them there. Manages to find the first. He's dropped back here. Great flash coming in as he survives on his own. Impulse. That is perfection. 1, 2, 3, not missing any bullets. Drops back into the perfect angle so he can take those clean repeaks. And he's just so much faster. Exis the only one left now as the attempt onto the B-bomb site also falls short. And he might just look to save his AWP, honestly. Brilliant stuff from Impulse.
That's really cool. For someone I haven't had the pleasure of watching often, he's really putting on a show.
He's had some great games on that AWP, to be honest.
Okay.
Really good games.
I'd like to think he's doing it for me, Scriv, but definitely not. But I'm going to tell myself he is, because that makes it a lot cooler for me, you know? But he is really loaded, locked and loaded today. Looked like that should have been a double. Really smart reposition here. Just playing the fallback angles. Just look how clean that is. He isolates the 1v1s beautifully. No trade potential at all for IZAKO BOARS. And that's just clean clinical opping to a T on train. He knows his angles and he knows his fallback. He also knows if he falls to ult bomb, he'll have rifle support from sight. So really cool stuff to be watching from Impulse. IZAKO BOARS trying to pick up the pace. And speak of the man, the hero last round, he's cut down already. Level Up going to continue with his aggression from the rifles. And D grabs the op to find a pick. But it's madness everywhere. As Exis will creep. Microgenesis is in the smoke and ladder. That's starting to fade while D will post up in from Z. This is about to get weird. Aim is spotted. Smoke will fade. Microgenesis, how do you get out of this position? The barrel is spotted. I think you can wallbang that. But Exis is just going to wait. Let the molly come in. The safe play has been made.
Battle of the AWPers, mate. Impulse in the last round, Exis in this one, and yeah, I feel like that play really does sum up IZAKO BOARS. You take the shot there and you miss it, you kind of give him a chance to cross, right? While you're like recocking, he can try and escape. Maybe there's a player behind the AWPer to also help out, but they play it safe. They get the surefire kill instead of taking a cheeky risk, taking a chance on a lucky shot. It secures them a solid advantage here. They've gotten into the heads of the CT side. Sui also going to put a bullet in the head of the CT side. It's all on to D. The AWPs, once again, looking good from Level Up. Not quite as good as the last round. Maybe there's a chance coming into this one, but as soon as they spot him out, Shane dips out. He's going to get that bomb down on B, and Sui is still around on A to keep him distracted, but playing it safe until he goes for that peek. Now brought it down to a 1 versus 1. However, D, wasting time. He thinks it's A. Give it a couple more seconds. He will figure out it is indeed B, but he's got to make a lot of noise getting over here. He's dropped to the M4, looking to clean up this three-man clutch. But he has no idea where Shane's coming from. Is he up close? Is he dropped behind? Is he just sat waiting for the defuse? Really doesn't know. At the same time, Shane doesn't know where he is, but great little off angle to finish things off. IZAKO BOARS will even up the scoreboard real quick, real quick. And the thing with winning the one round and then dropping the next, you can see the money just isn't there.
This has been a really cool competitive match, and if you like cool, well, you'll like Hellcase. Malta V, extra money, Malta V15 for refill bonus, hundreds of cases, esports tournament modes, and tons of giveaways all the time. It's the place to be. It's the site to open cases. Go check them out. They are awesome partners. And Impulse with the first already, Scriv. He's wanting to change the tide of this match with that op. He's gotten them around already. Maybe he can work a second, but IZAKO BOARS with this B pick, just sending Sui forward, right? Immediately, just sending him to get his grips on the B site. Microgenesis will have no idea Sui's already here, and his silence is working. The op is rotated. Can Impulse do it again? Nearly through the smoke as he'll flash and push forward with the op. He's a mad lad, but he's looking to get to sight. And while his teammates fall, he'll realize they have pieced out. They have rotated away. And D is in no position to stop this. IZAKO BOARS read the situation again. Impeccable.
Yeah, I just think the way that they're playing the Counter-Strike is slightly bigger brained, as it were. Ooh, nice pickup coming in from D, though. It's not all said and done just yet. I guess with Impulse being absolutely miles away, they're kind of hesitant at best. And no kits, of course. It's still going to be really hard to make their way in, but they kind of need some sort of a miracle. Not a lot of time to play with. Flash coming in for Impulse to peek out. He's going to go for it, and Shane not savvy at all. All going to be down to Exus in the 1 versus 2. Oh, he almost gets caught off here, but gets the quick scope onto D. That's absolutely massive, and there's no time for Impulse anymore. The frag's going to come in for him as well. Easy 1v2 for Exus. The 5th round for IZAKO BOARS is a little sweaty. Definitely some beads dripping, but they do manage to get it over the line, and they'll take the lead here as well. You have to bear in mind, 4 rounds for level up. They've only had 1 rifle round. 3 of them come off the back of the pistol and subsequent conversions. So IZAKO BOARS, when the rifles have come in play, have looked really, really good. And just that 1 step ahead. It's not super decisive, right, in that round. These past couple have been a lot closer, but the clutches coming in, the lack of the kit, all these little things are really, really making life difficult for level up.
Yeah, they're really making this a hard CT side, right? The economy hasn't really been allowed to bloom. The BOARS have won rounds at clutch moments that have just broken CT economy. They're not giving the ecos any kills. It's just smooth sailing from the BOARS. 6 rounds already on train, Scriv. I mean, it is the BOARS pick, so maybe I shouldn't be so surprised. But it's also a map where I feel like Impulse could be comfortable. And from what I'm being told, Microgenesis typically pops off along with Impulse on this map, so perhaps that could still happen at some point. But the CT side, rocking the double up now. We've seen D pick up Impulses, and now he wants one of his own. This could be the move required to bounce them right back into this one, Scriv. Avis will make sure Exus gets his op back, because he has been finding, if not opening picks, the refrags on his teammates' peak, so he's been doing his job. Tao, interestingly enough, doesn't upgrade that Mac 10. That screams he's going to be the man to drop his utility and jump in first. And Sui, I doubt he'll expect a second op here. But on the same token, I don't think he'll peek that without a flash or some commotion down ramp.
Vivian. Oh, nice smoke. Really does not know what awaits him on the other side of it. Flash in hand, he's got to be so careful here. He will just make it away, but he's not ready for the Mac 10. Actually, he is. Takes down Tao. I don't know, Tao flying in, maybe a little ill-advised. Another kill for Impulse chimes through. 4 on 3 as the bomb goes down. D gonna miss that shot. Both sides so very dicey. Got to be so careful taking these fights. Need to select them properly. Great smoke on the edge of sidewalk, but Exus is not fast enough. Impulse too strong. Almost a double spray down for Shane. Not quite. He has to do a lot of work. Avis also low HP. It is so very messy right now, and they just charge forwards to find the frags. It will be a close one, but Level Up have finally put a stop to the IZAKO BOARS on their tear, and they will pick up another round. It's costly, but they hold on to the double up setup, and they will be happy to finally get themselves a rifle round.
Yeah, the one issue that may arise now is if you lose this, you're right back to the pistols without skipping a beat. So if Level Up want to come out with a couple round advantage, which you do on CT side on train, you got to win this, in my opinion, Scriv. Pretty much a must-win round, because the same token, you win this, let's say keep 3 alive, you break IZAKO BOARS, which means 13's free, and then that will give you the lead, and you can work off of that. So a huge round, if not the most important one of this entire half, is happening right now, and it's when the double ops are in play for Level Up. They have the utility, the kits. Success is in their hands. It just seemingly, if they can hang on to it and it doesn't slip through their fingers, Scriv. And more importantly, they don't let the BOARS sneak out, get that cheeky first frag, right? Bait out too much utility early. Because we can see this is what the BOARS kind of want. Holding for an Ivy peak, allowing T-Con control to come out. Because all that utility, pretty early into the round, and no one's going to take advantage of it. No one's going to sit in T-Con. So IZAKO BOARS is just going to flash in and not really see anyone. And if they double swing, Macro could be in some trouble.
45 seconds. action's got to pick up soon. IZAKO boars do have Ivy control coming in. Much more than that. Necrogenesis being this first line of defense. They go 1 for 1 immediately. The AWP for AWP frag. Shane's left low thanks to a dink, so a slight advantage, I guess, for level up. Of course, the time is massively on their side. Impulse just being such a nuisance right now. D picks up where he left off, and the frags keep on coming in. Shane, the only one left, manages to find the first. He's so low, surely not. And it is indeed the case. Level up going to even things back up real quick, as they have gained a bit of confidence onto this CT side. I would say 6 rounds already pretty decent from IZAKO boars. Any more than this and they start to get, I would say, happy, comfortable, right? So level up are going to need to keep this together, keep stringing them together. And they know it. A pause coming in. So yeah, I'm certainly confident in level up to turn things around here on the CT side. 9 rounds, still not perfect, but it's the marker that you want to be hitting. You would imagine they've got a T side available, right? It is a map that they're fairly comfortable on. The IZAKO boars, meanwhile, will be thankful for this pause because they can also talk things over. It's a really key turning point in the next rifle round. This one should be a surefire round for level up. Maybe a bomb plant at best for IZAKO boars if they brute force their way into B. But yeah, we're waiting for the rifles to come into play before we start to make some hard predictions, start to make some, I suppose, hard decisions if you're the players.
Yeah, they did win that must-win round, though, as I alluded to. So it sets them up nicely here. And then once the rifles come back out, they'll truly be tested. Also, didn't know there was glass in those lights to break. You learn something something new every day, Scriv. Did you know there's glass in those lights to break? I had no idea.
I didn't know.
That's pretty cool. Now I'm going to do that every time. Thanks for getting me addicted to doing that.
They're like dynamic lighting on this map. Shoot them out.
It gets
Goes dark. Yeah, that would be interesting.
That's the future. Did you know, Scriv, lights in video games take real power?
What do you mean by that?
Think about it.
As in, like, from your PC?
Lights in video games take real electricity to function.
Well, yeah, okay. Technically speaking, yeah.
Well, more literally, but yeah.
I see where you're coming from. I still think the idea of dynamic lighting would be cool. And then it's like, you know, if you have less electricity available or something. I don't think that's how electricity works, is it? You just kind of have it, or you don't. I don't think there's like
I mean, there are different voltages, I suppose.
Yeah, but that's more for the device than... You know what I mean?
I suppose, yeah.
All right, we're getting off on one of our infamous tangents.
It happens.
In one of the most important rounds, so... I'll be the one to stop it. Usually, sometimes, you know, you jump in when I get rambling on. But today, I'm, you know, on the ball. It's not hot. I'm not tired. Well, it is hot, but I'm not as hot. I'm not tired today. So no excuse, really. But still, been chatting bare, and nothing's really gone down as yet. IZAKO boars getting aggressive in the brown halls, but, of course, utility keeping them at bay. Yeah, there's a death trap down there, so hopefully for the IZAKO boars, they don't decide to go for a pop drop. I don't think so. Tower's just chilling at the top. So once again, a really slow take coming in, but Exus, he's creeping forwards. Contact play finds the head of Impulse. That might just decide at least the bomb site. The round itself still, of course, doable, particularly with AVN in this aggressive angle. He's not going to be flashed off at all, and he gets a double. So he had no idea where he was. Great little angle there. And he goes up top. Oh, Exus, too many targets, misses the shot, gets taken down. Dimka somehow has crept in behind. It's all fallen apart. Avis on the back end was to be the lurker to find the final 1 or 2 frags, but now he has to get 4. Maybe a bit too tall of a task. Might even just look to hold on to what he's got, honestly. 10 seconds left on the clock. No real chance at the round itself with the bomb being down way too far away. So yeah, he's just going to hold on to the AK, and it'll be an 8th for level up. Bringing it awfully close. That 9th round just on the horizon.
Yeah, this is absolutely ideal for level up. You have Avis saving, so he only has 50 bucks. It's last round, right? So everyone else is going to have to buy up what they can, and it's not going to be good. I honestly would like to see, in a situation like this, Shane or Sui dropping an AK, excuse me, to Exus, allowing him to get head armor and utility. Just because now you have a bit more chance to get something done with some utility. Instead, Avis is already gone. It's constant fire in towards T-Con. And D, one of the secondary ops, posted, or should I say the secondary op, posted on Ivy, and he's going to be walking it down. And Exus can find this pick. Grab the op, allow someone else to come grab the AK. Bang. Not going to happen. Head removed. Shane really wants his AK. It's just out of reach, and he's alone now. He will get it, but it will not have it for long. 9-6. Level up, bounce back to walk away with the average half on Train. Both sides are going to be pretty happy with this outcome, I would say, Scriv.
Not controversial to say at all. It is, I think, like, satisfactory at best, right? They're not necessarily super happy, but they can be okay with it. And loot bet, things have evened up. I guess that... Oh, okay. No. Never mind.
Ah, there we are.
Slightly more accurate, I suppose. Level up taking the lead into the second half. Coming on to the CT side, though, I mean, fiery start is certainly needed just to keep IZAKO balls under the cosh and keep them really far back. It's going to be a fast round coming in, Keith. There ain't no time to be talking it over. Sui, there's players in front, players behind. How is he not dead? How does he even get away with one there? That is absolutely criminal. They should have shut him down way faster. Exus on the edge of the smoke, also able to drop the bomb again. And he will stay alive on the bomb train. Calls for a bit of help from the cavalry. Also continues to hit heads. It's all onto Impulse. The USB he picked up had 3 bullets in it. That sucks. He spins around. Look into the eyes of his killer. 7th round coming in for IZAKO BOARS as they will win a very dominant pistol. And that explosive start, not going to happen for level up.
Right when I thought they might have been able to pick that pistol up, right? It just all falls apart. IZAKO BOARS should be able to bounce back up to 8, maybe even 9 if level up don't pick this up, right? So it's really cool to look at the dynamic of CT side to T side, right? They walk away with a 9-6 advantage. Cool. Level up lose this, we're right back to square. It's like the first half is just almost negated, right? And that's the cool factor about it, because on 9-9, rifles will be out for both sides, maybe an up for level up. Then again, no one necessarily budgeted for it, so it will just be AKs if my math is correct. Also, shout out to my boy Shane, using this MP5. Just kidding. But it is the best gun in the game, Script.
It is.
The MP5, yeah, no doubt. Oh, he's so blind.
That is what you get, I suppose. Necrogenesis. Relax. Oh, he's got the best gun in the game. Looking for some more. Whoa, little awkward, but he manages to track him down. Looking for the 4th, going to be denied. Back into a 2-on-2, Keith. Anybody's game. The Deagle's landing, but not finding the frags. However, I think it is over. AVN and Dimkid to finish things off. Level up will steal the force buy away.
Wow. I am very shocked Shane doesn't get anything with an MP7. Highest armor pen, great movement, easy spray control, but it's just Necrogenesis to just mop up house. He even makes the MP7 sing. Back to the Deagle. Nearly gets the last, and the way he cleared that player in sandwich and went back to the E-Box player, just gorgeous. And that is robbery. IZAKO BOARS will force back up themselves, but no head armor, very little utility. That is a round that is a hit below the belt. Now, how do IZAKO BOARS recover, right? It's a save round after this. It is just so tough now. IZAKO BOARS is going to be fighting non-stop, where if they won that round, went to 9-9, it'd be a different story, but now this game has a completely different feel to it.
Yeah, it has turned upside down ever so slightly, at least for the next few rounds. The infamous force buy wars coming in. Interesting to see Sui holding on to cash. Are we going to see him picking up an AWP on the CT side? Maybe because he's a richer member, will he drop it across, or will he actually take it? Kind of an interesting question and worth keeping your eyes on. They have crept into T-Con as well. So it could be a bloodbath there, and a pretty effective one for the CT side if they play their cards right. The edge out's coming in. There it is. Oh, look at this. Tower coming in with a couple, actually, from Ivy, and my goodness gracious. No, he crept in behind. Tower with the perfect positioning to find 3 frags. Wow, that is a hard round to follow and a hard round to play in, apparently. Level Up going to drop to the force buy as well.
Do you have any idea what's going on, Scriv?
Hey, listen, man, this is how it goes. This is how it goes. You know, the tier 2 Counter-Strike, right? They start losing to force buys. Everybody starts forcing up. You get AKs out. You get, like, Galils out because they're really cheap. Get some nice positioning. And you just back and forth, baby. You just back and forth. That's what we're here for.
All right. Double AKs, Raven. And Dimk. Dimkey. I think Dimk sounds about right. Sounds pretty baller. But Exus with the Yogg. Only smokes. They're just going to try to contact this. Beautiful for the Yogg. He'll get his 2 before he goes down. Saving grace for level up. The AKs are still alive. The bomb has to come down ramp, however. That may require Smoker some kills. And IZAKO BOARS are facing and dying to Dimk and Avon. The AK of Avis trying to find a favorable fight. Dimk needs to isolate one. And it's D with no armor in the AK, and his head is gone. Shane maintains damage dealt by level up. Bomb plant loss bonus. Don't think it's going to be enough if memory serves, but I've been wrong before. But I don't think it's a Bible territory, no. There'd be pistols, maybe some light armor. IZAKO BOARS now finally a chance to tie it up. It was supposed to be 9-9 if we went all according to plan. But you know what? 10-10 is something they'll also consider and take without complaint.
We do have a technical coming in, unfortunately. As there you are, a level up player dropping out. In the form of Dimk. There's a hard one as, you know, English natives. Or English native speakers, I think is a better way of putting it, but regardless. Hopefully should be back in quickly, but yeah, in theory, it'll be a surefire round for IZAKO BOARS, like you say, but I mean, you never know. Surely just a few deagles coming into this one, though. I don't think level up should continue force buying, particularly with their lead under threat, and more likely than not, the lead going to drop, so they have to pull it back as soon as they possibly can. And the best way to do that is with a full buy, of course. AWP is available in the next round. Should be a chill round, and I mean, it kind of looked like it, right? I would have expected them to buy up by now. They're just making sure everything's clean and ready and good to go. Yeah, what do you reckon we see in the first rifle round, Keith? I feel like maybe a fast B play for me, or actually, you know what? I reckon they'll go for like a fast, quick execute outside.
On this round or next rifle?
On the rifle round.
I think they're going to do an Ivy split execute, like right out of spawn. Exus with the op is kind of floating around, and he's kind of been like a pivot to B type of player because I saw him there with the Yogg a couple rounds ago. So they're going to assume that he's going to be playing in Z. So I would really enjoy like an execute that included a molly mid-sight and a couple players with Ivy pressure and kind of split on the site to don't allow Exus to pick you down. I think that's more than likely the outcome. This round is just kind of a toss. And again, they're seeing Exus as the Z rotator. He'll fall, and his teammates will grab the op. But you see how they notice how quick Exus got there? So they're going to assume he's going to be in Z, which gives you a little bit of a window and opportunity for an outer execute. You either do that or you slow it down so much you let Impulse work a pick, Scriv. But either of those I'd be happy with.
Okay, well. Here we go. Do or die time for level up, I think. It's looking really good for IZAKO boards. They found a lot of stability quickly. So I feel if they can securely get the first rifle round, they start to run away with a couple, or get themselves a fat lead, and look at that fat damage. See you later. Wait. Oh, okay. Shane got him with the rifle. I was going to say, geez, how did he not get that one with the nade? It's all good, though. The kill comes through, although not in the expected way. They will drop one, but overall a one-man advantage here for IZAKO boards. That solid lead and the control in the round that they were looking for comes their way very early on. Level up, not really going for anything that we were expecting. It was a super early aggressive peak attempt type thing, and they were just smoked out and naded to high hell. So, really nothing coming for them in this round.
IZAKO boards. Really impressive. And again, Exus is going to be this rotate guy. As soon as Tao runs out of utility or that flash pops, here he comes. Are they going to have enough to shut him down? AVN worried. And no, Exus gets a pick. Tao one. Spray down on the D. And it is that simple. You allow Exus to freely rotate. He's not blind. There's no smoke onto short Scriv. Nothing to hamper his ability to shut you down. And you see the result time and time again. Exus is pulling the boards through this, kicking and screaming. It's not all him, but the picks he's finding early. Again, the trade frags, the rotates. He's the guy.
He is the guy. He really is. He's definitely one that we were, you know, looking towards. And the last time they played this map, he was absolutely solid. Alongside Tao, but Tao's not really been tested as that B anchor. To be honest, so he's not had as much an opportunity to pop off. But yeah, Exus is really impressive. I think across the course of that series the other day against Blue Jays, right, he was highest fragger by some margin. So seems he's hit a groove in the past few days, past few weeks maybe. Clean openers for IZAKO boards into this one, of course, just up against upgraded pistols. Not really too much happening. Trying to find picks, trying to catch someone off guard with an aid in hand, get a cheeky 1D ground the corner. You know how it goes, all right? We've all played pugs, we've all played matchmaking. When that guy just swings round and shoots you in the head. He's just 1D'd me. What can I do? If we were playing matchmaking, you'd probably say he's cheated. That's not always the case.
Or your teammates are going to be screaming at you, don't peek, why are you peeking?
Yeah. That's also, yeah, they're on eco. Just play chill, guys. It's the very... And there you go, mate. Why are you peeking?
Yeah.
Why are you peeking?
Yeah. That's my words exact to a T. Like, it couldn't have been better time. Why you peek?
It's all good, man. Looks like...
Right.
Oh, no, okay.
Second,
actually,
okay.
Yeah, I would say that's a little problematic. They do recover the AWP, but dropping 2 there is a bit more costly than it needed to be.
Scriv, every day I cast, I somehow make a mess of my desk. Sometimes I'll have peanut butter up here and I get it over the desk somehow. Today I spilt pop on my keyboard. I'm not saying I'm a mess, but I'm a mess. But I have fixed the problem very swiftly, Scriv. Because that's just what you do. Shout out to Mr. Clean, Avis. Looking towards Ivy. Slowly gonna push down, and as soon as they see this is clear, they may even cheat a third. Either number 7 on the minimap's gonna do one of 2 things. He's either gonna quickly rotate to B or push into ladder. Because now they have full IV control with Avis posted up with an op. He doesn't have to peek this, he can just simply hold this. They've smoked deep T-con. They've smoked deep ladder. Avis will peek it. And now what do Level Up do? You're choked out of Ivy. There's utility in T-con. You don't have upper B control yet. And you know IZAKO boards love these double ops. you're in trouble.
Big trouble. Yeah, this T side not looking as comprehensive as maybe I expected. Only picking up the one round and it comes off of a cheeky gotcha force buy. Certainly is troublesome. Certainly is troublesome. I mean, we still have their pick coming up. We did talk about the importance of this one for IZAKO BOARS, but at the same time, level up are fairly decent on it. And it's hard to tell with the way that they're performing on the CT side whether level up will be able to get through their CT side on the next map. Do you find the opener here, but Shane? Oh, over at Olaf being just such a nuisance. He will get taken down. It's looking good here. We were... Well, oh, chatting about them. Avis misses the massive opportunity to pull this round back. The AWP's going to get eliminated in the end. That could have been huge. Could have been huge, but it wasn't. And level up will finally get the rifle round on the board. As soon as we call them into question, say T-side's not looking good. Well, they put me to shame ever so slightly. A nice clean one to pick up the 11th.
This game's close. CT economy's finally broken. A few rounds ago, 7,000 plus for a few players. Now fully invested. One of which on an MP9. They still grabbed the double op, however. Avis, a glass cannon version of it. Could have gone for a rifle. I'm indifferent, I suppose. But again, playing two players towards B. Risky peek and a rare missed shot from Exis. That's certainly going to have consequences shortly, Scriv. Sui's going to be the next point of contention. They're going to try to ice him out, nade him out, spam him through this with the AK. And if he falls, the round surely will. Tao, risky peek to be taking, and AVN is just so composed and ready for that.
Great little Molotov. Sui going to be pushed back. Wow, that covers the whole area. Nade going to continue to chip him down. Really good stuff. It's not massive damage, but it is control of Pop Dog, at least for the time being. And, I mean, when you've got a two-man advantage, every little helps. Movement towards B from level up, though. Oh, on the flank coming in. Sui gets denied. It was being watched. It could have been massive, but of course they are smart and savvy. Meanwhile, D's crept in behind. The B-bomb site falls. Shane will be the only one left. Probably going to look to save. Level up. Coming in with a dominant couple of rounds. Looking very, very good towards the tail end. Going to break the bank as well, Keith. This is starting to get interesting.
Yeah, this could just be blown wide open now. They keep 5 alive, which secures a rifle round on a loss no matter what. IZAKO BOARS are going to have to save next, which gives 13 to level up. To me, they're going to jump from 12 to 13 without any worries. Shane's going to do his best to save here. Smoke drop, can grab that AK. Level up, doesn't even mind losing a couple more AKs. But Shane is just going to tuck in towards showers. Try to forget what just happened this round. And that is the case.
Well, into round number 25 we go. The surefire round here for level up. I mean, at best, Shane saves again, right? Is probably what they're looking to do. So, you never know, might find some damage or whatever. And I do like this with the M4. He's got to be proactive. They will have money to buy into the next. Not the end of the world. It's just always nice to have that extra buffer of cash. But a really nice little bait and switch. I think a boost up coming in there as well. Does get spotted, however. Ooh, nice little deep nade coming back in.
Oh, wow.
Both sides, actually. Really big damage onto Dimka meanwhile. So I guess the exchange in and of itself is not bad for the CT side. It's just obviously in that wider picture of the round, it's not great.
They're trying to find someone to fight, aren't they? They want someone to get caught off guard. Tao Not jiggling deep enough. He'll be caught off first with this AK of D. And they found where the M4 is. Level up. You got to be decisive here. You can't afford to be overthinking situations like this, because now they have an AK. M4 still in play. Echogenesis putting himself in a one and done spot. Questionable. Tight on the trains and swinging the bomb is your friend with 30 seconds, Scriv. Have to still figure out where this AK player went, and 2-player weak if so he can get a pick here. I thought maybe X is the one. Not expecting to get chased by the op, and he won't. Impulse, make sure the round gets secured. 3 for him. Expenses aside, they will grab that 13th. IZAKO BOARS will be buying back M4s unless Shane goes for the op, but doubt it. So an opless buy from IZAKO BOARS is going to hurt them a ton. They've relied heavily on Nexus is op, right? He's the rotator. He's the pick guy. He's the guy that's going to return that pick if Level Up get the first. And without it, I don't know if it's going to change their game plan. I imagine they're going to go aggressive in towards ladder and T-Con late in the round, or after the initial barrage of nades and smokes. Because you need to. You don't have enough utility to hang on. You can't just sit around. You got to do something with these M4s. Shane realizes this. We're on the same wavelength. Some say we're brothers.
I mean, I've never seen either of you in the same room, so...
That's all I'm saying.
Early Molotov coming through from Tao there. Certainly could make a difference going into the last stage of the round. It has slowed way down. Shane in the off angle. Flash comes in, not making too much noise. Still sticking around in sandwich. Smoke going down to try and cut off the east side. He's in the hole off, makes a bit of noise, but he finds the frag. Impulse with an immediate trade. Definitely decent there for the T side of things. That deep smoke is just keeping them at bay massively. Someone moving in behind it. Not sure. Just gonna have to wait, guys. 40 seconds. Bait out as much utility as we possibly can. They also have the bare minimum, the essential equipment to move into this site. I don't think that smoke was meant to do that. That might just be the olive branch they need. Exus 1-for-1. There's still a player in on the bomb train. They might not be expecting. Player at sandwich in the form of Avis staying alive after finding a frag. Absolutely massive. Avon, meanwhile, moving in. Gonna get the side stab, but the timing is so terrible. So unlucky. As the player drops back, the rotations are in. There's nothing he can do, and he will be so frustrated. D falls as well, but my god, the play to turn the round upside down is stolen by the divine powers of the universe. There is no writing that. IZAKO BOARS will get the 13th off the back of it. Good God.
Yeah, we've kind of gone down a rabbit hole of CS, and this is kind of where we're at. Scrappy, non-stop mayhem. I feel like that might be a fair way to word it, or maybe more chaotic, absurd. Tons of descriptors you could use and bend to your will to describe this game. Exus gets the 2 AKs on the side of IZAKO BOARS. I don't know. I'm smelling OT on train for some reason, Scriv. I don't know. Maybe I've jinxed it by saying so, but these teams are very equally matched, and I think that's showing beautifully here.
It is a real fun, real exciting one for sure to open us up. This is what we expected from Train. We have said, however, it's pretty important, pretty paramount for IZAKO BOARS to get it on the board. The 2-1 is the best that they can hope for. Level Up, meanwhile, if they get this, the series probably comes along with it, to be honest. At the very least, IZAKO BOARS are going to have to impress and upset on Inferno, which is no easy feat. So... very key rounds for both sides, arguably. Particularly for IZAKO BOARS to just breathe that sigh of relief going into Inferno. Pressure off their shoulders ever so slightly will make life a bit easier, and you never know. Going into Inferno, they come in with the confidence. Could give them the energy they need to get it over the line. Hard to tell. Oh, boys. What is going on with the utility? We had a messed up one in the previous round as well. We got another messed up smoke in this round. kind of costs them a few seconds, and the rotations are in pretty damn fast. The frag's coming through, but Dimke, he is doing what he can. Finds 2, making things even. A quick reaction from Exus will leave it all into a 1 versus 2. A 1 versus 3, actually, overall for D. He's very quickly crept forward. I don't think they're going to be expecting this, but there's a backstab coming in, looking down the channel, and he will get taken down. IZAKO BOARS getting the 14th. When it matters most, they will pick up a round.
Whew, they got the 14th. The bomb plant will allow Level Up to buy. Without it, they could be hurting. That money allows them to get the op out. Avon can drop it to Impulse. Impulse can drop him an AK. And he doesn't want it. Very surprising, may I say. If I'm Impulse, I want that op. But it's not the case. IZAKO BOARS. If they get to 15, there'll be no money or not much for the Level Up boys, and that could be troublesome. And it's an explode. It's the Ivy split, the aggression on T-Con that I've wanted. They're finally going to activate it. Ava's sent all the way to the back lanes. The smoke will land, but there will be a gap on the left, but the flashes are primed. Shane with the first. The molly will be tossed. They take the high ground, but they're getting cut down in droves. The CT side unable to hold this aggression. And it's just like this. It is in a 1v1. Who could have seen it coming down to a 1v1 like this? Okay. Gonna grab the bomb and just wait. Shane with his 3rd. Staring down the 4th with his M4. It just takes a headshot on a Dimke, and it can snowball, but he gets spotted. 14-14 up, picked up. And even a 3K from an IZAKO BOARS member is not enough to hang on to that.
Oh, hot damn. As Dimke looks down the barrel of defeat. He will win the clutch. He'll win the key 1 versus 1. Beautifully confident as well. Just plants the bomb and swings, baby. No messing about from him. It is massively costly, meanwhile. The buy into this round, not going to be perfect. I think this is part of what the pause is about. What are they going to do with this limited utility? Also, reading into the economy that IZAKO BOARS have got available and then making a call, making an educated guess on what they also are going to go for themselves. Which, as you can see, may not be a lot. Or they might go all in. I don't think that's very IZAKO BOARS of them. But it looks like, indeed, they are just going to hold on with a full save. Not a single purchase at all. So I like this decision. It's a lot smarter. The overtime, the best they can hope for. However, Level Up in a decent position to maybe clean things up 16-14. Snatch away their opponent's map pick.
Possible. $15 will be given to Level Up. As I said, IZAKO BOARS is not the type of team to take risks with the economy and force buy here. They're going to be playing for that OT. And it's so quiet. 40 seconds, these USPs have kind of just been sitting in their positions, not doing a whole lot. And Level Up will throw nades and waltz into an empty B site. The player rotating with the USB will try, but it's going to be Level Up getting the bomb down. They're going to realize the site's clear any moment. And the USPs is going to try to overwhelm them, Scriv, but it shouldn't happen, which means it's 15 for Level Up. No upsets here.
All goes as expected. They're finding these closing frags as well in just a few moments here. You would have thought they might take a few themselves. They've actually had a player drop out, so that kind of sucks. Maybe don't want to lose any more players, really. Yeah, that's kind of a kick in the teeth that's out of their control, unfortunately. Not quite sure what's happened there. They end up losing a couple of players. Sure, they still win the round, but essentially losing 3 players' money's worth, or gear's worth, I guess. That's a bit of a pain. Oh, and you can see with the reconnection, the cash not fantastic. I mean, obviously they will drop across and no hesitation, no you do it, I don't have a lot of money left if I drop you. You know, it's the final round of regulation, for goodness sake. All 30 rounds, Mr. Keith. But we'll see. I'm excited. I am excited. This is definitely what we signed up for, IZAKO BOARS. Quaking. Overtime, the best they can hope for, and even coming into it, the buy is not perfect. They don't have every single little thing available to them. Avis on a FAMAS, right, might come into play. Might be that detrimental thing. We'd like to see them on the double up setup as much as possible. That's not possible. Oh, but the aggression. Lovely stuff from Tower. Absolutely fantastic. Really good read into things, right? You need to be proactive. You need to put your best foot forwards, dropping D, gaining a man advantage early. That's absolutely brilliant.
Right, what the boards needed. Opening pick from a big player in Tau. Level up. Stomping around towards top ladder. Giving presence in towards ladder room, making Sui a little nervous as to what could be going on there. And again, Exus rotated with the op in Z. Level up have to a full-blown X cube. That's their only saving grace here. Is that they can break out a full X cube. Because if you just try to do contact like you have been, don't do a short smoke, Exus will destroy you. A good trade, but they can't allow Tower to get a single kill, and they won't. That is so big, Scriv. And this retake is going to have to come in with no utility and not a kit.
Absolute paramount that they get this. Genesis, the first line of defense. The rest of the boys holding passively, and Impulse will take down Avis as he tries to come through from Cloud. Not going to work for him. 3 versus 2. Necrogenesis hears them all around him. Has the drop on a couple as well if he plays his cards right. Beautiful stuff. It's a team flash coming in, and he will be traded back, but Impulse immediately there to secure the 16-14. They will indeed snatch away their opponent's map pick. IZAKO BOARS going to be kicking themselves, going to be so frustrated. They had that one. Not quite in the bag, but certainly in their favor. And then, of course, that CT economy comes back. It is a real pain in the backside. They let a couple of key rounds slip, and Level Up capitalize. It's still awfully close, awfully exciting, hard to call, and not quite sure if that will indeed, you know, spell the end of the series. But the second map is going to be so hard.
Oh, it's going to be extremely difficult because now you're jumping over to Level Up's best map. They've just taken what could be your top 3 map. And now you're jumping to their wheelhouse. Impulse is warmed up. Everyone on Level Up pretty much out-fragged IZAKO BOARS outside of Exus, right? So you're already in some trouble. You're in hot water. I'm not sure how they're going to bounce back. Impulse just had a beautiful map. Exus tried Scriv, but the woes of the CT economy didn't allow him to get out the op as much as he would have liked. And it was just a snowbally type of game that Level Up were in it to the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's got to suck to take a loss like that. It always does when it comes so very close. Like, it was anyone's game. Either team could have won it for sure. Level Up initially, that T side was kind of a mess. And then I think they take a pause, right? And they work something out, seem to turn things around. Bit of a change in the game plan. But yeah, really, really solid stuff from them in the end. And like I say, Inferno is probably their best map. So IZAKO BOARS have their work cut out for sure, where for them it's a so-so. They don't play it that much, right? They get most of their rounds on the T side of things. Certainly going to be hard to break through that stronger CT side that we saw from Level Up overall. Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling Level Up for this one.
Yeah, I have to hard agree with you. We're going to have to see some resilience from IZAKO BOARS and really come out swinging. That's pretty much the only win factor in my mind, but maybe they'll prove us wrong. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it's time to get hot. It's time for Inferno. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you got your hat on because it's Malta Vibes and it's Hat Day officially on this stream. Brought to you by Gaming Malta, the home of gaming excellence and amazing hats. Maybe. I don't know. I added that last part. Probably not true. But it's map number 2. As I said, it's time to get hot. It's time to jump into Inferno. It's Level Up's map pick and arguably their best map, which is worrisome if you're an IZAKO BOARS fan or if you're just unbiased bystanders like us.
Yeah, I mean, well, there it is. There it is, right? You've kind of painted the picture. If you are just joining us, Level Up snatch it away in the end 16-14, which is an awfully rough way to lose your own map pick. And then, as you say, moving into a so-so map, definitely not the worst, but I'd say aside from their permaban, it's like their second worst map. So arguably, I guess, their third worst map. Meanwhile, as you say, for Level Up, it's their best. So it is going to be really difficult coming into it here. Not only the raw statistics, not only the matchup being so close and so difficult, but also that mental game that we always talk about as Level Up. Yeah, just, I don't know, man. I personally would much rather be on the end of a smashing, like a 16-2, 16-3 and go, wow, okay, we're just not as good as they are today. Don't know what's happened there. We can go away and learn from it. But in the moment, a 16-14 is really, really difficult to be on the end of. So bouncing back from that mentally, I think, is going to be tough for them. You running the numbers?
I was thinking about something. I was thinking about a couple things, actually.
Give it to me.
First off, I was thinking about how handsome I look in this hat.
Oh, right.
I know I look kind of...
I thought that was coming my way.
So, no, I'm sorry. I mean, you look great in yours, too. I need to be kind. I need to be honest and let you know. Secondly, I was thinking about how worried I am for IZAKO BOARS. And if the look on my face doesn't show worry, I'll try a bit harder. That's worry. That is me being very concerned for the IZAKO BOARS and how you're going to work on this Inferno. Because Impulse is dialed in. You know what? Let me pull up the numbers. Let me get some facts for you, Scriv. Because I think the frag distribution is an important part to what we saw on Train. Obviously, frags and kills don't really matter. But if I can pull this up.
Yeah, I feel like I get what you're saying, but I feel like kills do kind of matter. But I know what you mean. Like the numbers of which, just the way you worded that made it seem like, kills just don't matter.
Yeah, they matter, but not in like the context.
You know what people can be like, right?
Yes.
Got to translate what you're saying, I suppose.
They're not updated on the site yet. That's kind of a feels bad, man. But if memory serves, it was pretty much Exus leading the charge.
Yeah.
And I think Shane was a close second, and everyone else was kind of just quiet. Tao had his moments. He had a couple kills here and there, but it means they're not getting the kills that they normally do. They're not getting their guaranteed kills. They're not able to hold down the ladder. They're unable to be successful in their default. Their T side didn't really net them too many picks. And the Level Up are going into this with Impulse being hot. Echo Genesis looking really good. He's not afraid to take these risky fights and pushes down into the lanes. Honestly, I saw a lot more cohesion and team play on the Level Up T and CT side than what I saw on the BOARS, who seemed a little flat and out of kilter for what we're used to seeing from them. So that's why I'm worried. That's what I was thinking about while I was staring off into the corner of my room very weirdly.
Yeah, I mean, to kind of touch on, I think initially into that second half, IZAKO BOARS were on it, right? They had the game plan. The initial plan A looked really, really good. And then we had that timeout. And Level Up come back in and win a string of rounds, and sure, it comes kind of back and forth, but they ultimately had regained the control, and IZAKO BOARS were never able to do the same. So I think that's kind of what it comes down to. And look, you can talk about the CT economy and all that, getting away from them, but that's part and parcel, of course. You've got to be able to handle it. You've got to be able to pull off some decent saves, or win rounds cleanly, so you're building up cash, and they just weren't quite able to do that. So yeah, it sucks. There were some things that seemingly out of their control, and there were some things that were definitely in their control as well. So hopefully they can pick things back up on Inferno. Yeah, that's me coming at you from the Minecraft realm. I'm not quite sure what's happened, but my cam... Oh, okay, we seem to be back. We seem to be back to fairly stable bit
Can we
right
go
there.
back to Minecraft realm? I think I saw some diamonds there. I wouldn't.
I don't know how I do it. I just think like it happens, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we're not gonna blame you, but it is your fault. But that's okay. Level Up coming in as a late kind of filler. If our memory serves, is supposed to be Honorous. They unfortunately had to drop out. Level Up coming in. If they can upset IZAKO BOARS, that's pretty cool. I do think Level Up are right around the same level. I don't think 10 ranks in HLTV really matters that much anymore. I feel like the only time ranks matters if you break into the top 30. And we already have Knife. Amazing.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. I think it's like a space where it just kind of depends. It's like IZAKO BOARS might be playing in a few more tournaments, so therefore they've got more points to put towards their HLTV ranking, you know what I mean? Whereas like Level Up, when they actually do come to play, it's like, oh wow, Level Up are kind of a better side here. They just haven't been around for as long, or they've not been invited to tournaments, or they've not qualified for tournament. You know, it's that harsh kind of nature from time to time. And you also have to think the likes of IZAKO BOARS, they focus a lot on their ESEA leagues and stuff like that, and trying to get through. I believe they were in MDL for a time, and they dropped down. But of course, getting into things, it would not be the start of the game without Lootbet coming in, who do give the advantage over to Level Up. Again, not by a huge margin here. So certainly our betting partners feeling that both teams are capable of taking Inferno. And we will have Level Up starting off on that explosive T side. We'll see here. I don't think it's quite their preferred side, but all the same, I'm excited to see what they can get done.
I have high hopes, high expectations. Ideally, as you mentioned, kind of the perfect side start for them to get things going. But if Level Up run them over in the first rifle and start stringing rounds together, that's where I'm going to be worried. But just a baseline worry right now. There's levels to my worry, Scriv. Baseline worried, somewhat worried, getting worried, I am worried. That's kind of like my scale. It all sounds the same, but trust me, it's very drastically different. Shane.
Oh, I mean...
In the halls. Traded out. Avis has to bail out of there. A 1-for-1 for Level Up there? I don't mind. I think that's a pretty fair exchange. They can just slow things down now. And they have these players completely split, Scriv. 2-2.
Yeah, they should be able to capitalize on this, you would think. They have dropped back into some decent enough positions, but no frags as yet coming in. X is still alive on the site. Needs a helping hand. He's not going to get it, and the A-bomb site falls. 4 versus 2 coming through now with Tao. Indeed, having a kit and a couple of flashes to work with. Might be able to flash his teammate in at short, but it's just not looking good. The bomb goes down. They have hardly any information to work with. Sui's trying to creep his way through as best he possibly can, but yeah, just a safe peek comes in. Impulse will take him down, and Tao the only one left. This would be insane if he can pull it off, and he's just not quite hitting the shots. He does actually tag down Impulse even lower, but he will eventually fall and Level Up in with a decisive opening pistol.
Decisive is the right word for that, Scriv. Right into the AKs, Galils. Deed's gonna try to make some money with that MAC-10. A run boost from Exis. Sadly, well, no one is home for him to find the shot on. IZAKO BOARS will stack 3 players towards B and what is a CT side force. And Level Up don't seem too pressured. They don't seem too worried. And this is kind of the vibe I got on their T-side train, right? Strong defaults, understanding of baiting out utility, good reads on the money. Obviously here it's very obvious, but even throughout the train match, very good reads on the economy. And they played for info, which is really cool to see. I imagine they're going to send AVN in first. And as soon as he sees more than 1 or 2, 3 players, they could bail out, but they're going to commit to this fully. And they're going to start to get cut down. They are not aborting. They're not canceling. Tao's going to stay up here. He'll be able to get another. I imagine he will. Nearly spraying 2. And this is getting scary as Sui. He'll get involved. DM Like, I don't even know what to say anymore. It was just so overwhelming, my senses. The pistols will do it, and right when I compliment them on train for playing for info, they know 3 players are here, and they still commit.
Yeah, getting caught up in the moment, right? Teams do it so often, particularly against the pistols. They feel a little overconfident, and they just go charging in and kind of get demolished. So it will end up costing them, like you say, in a relatively big way, but I don't know, level up. They've got a force buy of their own. IZAKO BOARS, the true test coming up in this round here, but you can see immediately nice injection of cash with those recovered weapons. If they can pick this one up cleanly, they'd be off to a pretty damn good recovery early on into the first half. Meanwhile, level up are just taking it nice and slow, sending the feelers out there and maybe gathering that information that you were talking about, Keith. This time looking a little more effective doing so.
Tao and Nexus looking to hold down the arch side. Great flash to catch Tao full blind. Right when his teammate decided to back up. Tao will fall. Nexus is going to try to hold across in a CT, but he's losing members behind him. But Nexus will stand tall. D with a huge double. And the A site's open to play now. The B player cannot feel comfortable rotating. The site player is moved into pit. That Shane, lovely first headshot. Does he double in? No, it's D with a third. Where did he pull that out of?
Dewey has to clutch up. Not going to happen. He's looking the wrong way. Avon will drop him. The second round for level up comes in. And the force buy wars, will they continue? At the moment, it is level up with the leg up, if you will. The kind of craziness that we saw in train continues here on to Inferno, and we will indeed see a return force buy from the IZAKO BOARS. 2 MP9s. Exus has got... What? He's got Scout dropped across. What's happened there? Seems like a very rushed kind of buy coming through from the CT side of things. We'll see whether it works out.
Definitely one way to word it. Can Nexus get a pick or a tag? Not to be right now. But they're force buying back. This is kind of what the T's want. They always take an economic advantage if it's force buys, back and forth, trading rounds. Especially on a map like Inferno, it favors the T's in the long run. And with Shane getting damaged early, Exus unable to really find any real damage. I imagine he's either going to get swung on or smoked off. As level up look to do a Halls pop. If Shane can get the first, that would be perfect. And he won't. MK just going to run out with AVN, and they're just going to clean up the site players. Exus, one through the smoke. That's pretty good. I would be thoroughly impressed if he finds a second, but electing just back up. And they should just save here. I know you want to go for economic damage, but you're not going to buy next again anyhow. Might as well give yourself a chance with this Deagle and MP9 and Scout once more. Level up, jump up to 3. And that is the perfect swing back into their control. Like, that. This is picture perfect for a T side.
Yeah, really solid start. Little shaky to begin with, but they have weathered the storm, seem to come out the other side relatively unscathed. They can forget about the one round, particularly if they continue to string them together here. Of course, this first true rifle round that we see, not going to be coming up in the next, but the one after. That first rifle round will be very important for level up to secure. Pressure's still going to be on into this next round as well, Keith, so certainly a bit more work to be done. However, a hell of a lot easier into this round than some of the previous ones. Yeah, I'm not going to see anything at all from IZAKO BOARS, so just hoping to work with what they have here. Perhaps a stack or some early aggression. But instead, no. Just a conventional setup. Not too much coming in from either side. Ooh, Exus. Going for an early peek. He's a little too late. They've already crossed into Banana. Meanwhile, this is where the MP9 and the Deagle reside. They have to be very careful indeed. Big nade damage coming in. Tao's spotted out. He's dropped easily. Dewey can't get anything done either. And the 5-on-3 coming in, I think they might just have sealed the deal off the back of it. Exus could maybe find a cheeky head, but no, it's Dimk to find the cheeky head. That's as crisp as you like. Shane trying to pick up where his fallen teammate left off, but it's not going to work out. And Level Up have indeed picked up the 4th off the back of that. Not quite yet, literally, but I mean, there's no way that they lose this, is what I'm trying to say.
It's impossible. 4 for Level Up. Shane wants to get a scout headshot. Bang. Impulse, that AK. Firing. And no reason to drop the AK buy it off. They're just going to keep these AKs a running. And look at the cash for the T-side, Scriv. Guarantees around at full buy after a loss. IZAKO BOARS. No op. Not a single molly or kit. That is out there. For an Inferno buy, you always try to want to prioritize maybe a downgrade to get that utility, get that kit, because you play retake a lot on B, but not to B. And aggression is their response. So we ult mid. MK gonna need some help as Shane doubles in, trades a plenty across the board, and Level Up. Yes, they make it an equal man stance, but look how low Necro and Impulse are, Scriv. It may make all the difference. Can Exus get caught off guard here, though? He does! Impulse catches him sleeping, and they know that's an open A site. Avis is the B player. But will they expect the timing on this push?
The $1 million question. Oh, that Molotov. They don't know it, but the timing is perfect. He's about to get around the corner, and it comes in. He has to push backwards. Kind of an instinctive move. I think maybe smarter for him to keep going forwards. The nade will find Impulse, though. Necrogenesis just able to get it. Saw in my mind's eye that he was maybe a little slow around the corner. Nonetheless, IZAKO BOARS, they come close, but not close enough. Level Up will take it over the line, and the first rifle round going their way. The fact that it comes so late into the first half as well is massive. Level Up can keep IZAKO BOARS under the cosh with this poor economy, sorry. They should be able to continue moving forwards with the rounds quite easily.
Just Deagles, Scriv, as it's been relatively easy going for Level Up on this T side, which I don't want to say it's to be expected, but it's their home turf. It's their comfort zone. And you can already kind of see, not fundamental differences, but just a comfort switch from Train to here. Train, they kind of felt pressured at times, or they try to push the envelope and take bigger risks. Inferno, you can already kind of tell. I don't know if you're feeling what I'm feeling, Script, but you could just see the ease on this T-side default. They don't really seem bothered. Then again, Exus hasn't broken the op out yet. There's only been a couple rifle rounds, but I'm just getting really big comfort vibes from them.
Yeah, just immediately, right? They look way more at home here on the T side. It took them a long time to get the T side going on Train, but just not the case. And like I say, it really does help out these kind of forced buy wars back and forth. IZAKO BOARS buying into it, and unfortunately they're not getting the benefits at all. But at the same time, Level Up just seemed to be able to maneuver a lot smoother. Playing the fundamentals. That's a nice one from Sui, to be fair, but nothing else coming off the back of it. So, yeah, I don't know, man. We got here fast. It's the Hellcase time. Of course, our primary case sponsor, primary case partner, I should say, coming in. The boys with the codes Malta V 15 extra cash and 15% refill bonus. Pretty
That's baller.
Nice stuff. It is pretty nice stuff. There's a banner down below. There's some links in the chat. You know how it goes by now. It's Cup 6, guys. Cup 6. We've got many more to come as well. So get on Hellcase. And I'm sure with those codes, it'll help you turn your luck around for sure. Speaking of which, IZAKO BOARS trying to turn their luck around, Keith, and with the opening nades, they might just be able to do so.
Well, running out of utility are the IZAKO BOARS side. The first pick's gonna go level up's way. Jane could be in a world of hurt. Gets the one. The spray on two will not matter. And it's gonna be an instant save call from IZAKO BOARS. Unless X's gets this pick, yeah, that's it. They're gonna pack it up. They're gonna try to get that up and get out of here. But Tao has different thoughts. Maybe he was considering pressuring that smoke. Instead, he'll just try to spray through. So he will drop Necro, Genesis, and just grab the op and back out. 7 already on the T side for level up. And what has me worrying is the fact that the op was in play, doesn't get a pick. The level up waltz into brackets for free. And they just execute and win the trades. There wasn't anything fancy. There wasn't really a big hold from IZAKO BOARS. The crossfires never really asserted themselves. The player got caught off on default. And then it kind of snowballed from there. And if level up are this comfortable on the T side, imagine what they're going to be like on the CT.
Yeah, particularly when it's kind of the... I mean, they're sort of even, but all the same, right? We saw some solid CT performance from them on train. And I don't know, man. We talk about the mental. I feel like if this continues, particularly, I feel like this is going to come down to just poor mental fortitude from IZAKO BOARS losing their map pick in a very, well, the closest fashion possible. It can take its toll, and that might just be the case here. We'll see, though. Strong buy coming in. Oh, Necrogenesis is just too fast. If he finds both there, oh, Keith. It is disaster again for IZAKO BOARS. The B-bomb site fallen. Surely the call to save just comes in immediately. And I don't know, man. Look, I like the idea. You're getting aggressive. You're trying to be proactive when you are indeed losing rounds. And they're not going for super heavy banana control, to be fair. But just swinging in? Like, it's just not going to work. Like, where's your flash? Where's your, you know, you've got your very basic smokes and stuff like that. But if you want to go for it, maybe molly out an area so you don't have to check everything, or double nade logs and then flash in. And now even the save is falling apart. X is the only one left. He will find a frag on the AWP and dip away pretty quickly here. He hears the flash coming in. He's fancying himself to take the fight. And they are happy to hunt. They've got so much cash. So he is going to have to fight his way out of one of these directions. His steps everywhere, and that is it. Goes down to Impulse. The 8th round for level up. Another flawless one coming in. IZAKO BOARS, god damn. Take a pause.
Yeah, they just seem so out of their own comfort zone and just out of their depth right now. They're giving level up the fights they want. They're peeking into multiple level up members. Level up hasn't even really had to throw a full execute. They've thrown one B execute, and they just haven't gone back. It's been relatively easy for level up, working the first pick, trading out effectively. Their default hasn't been pressured. There's been no banana control. It's been a little wild. But the BOARS are going to need an answer back, Scriv. Next round, it'll be an op for Exis. Full buy. And at that point, I believe it's a must-win round for the CT side. Necrogenesis, the opening pick here. Tao with a deagle. Can he double? No. Halted at the one. Nice shot. IZAKO BOARS are going to get pressured all the way back into CT. Exis will make no mistake of finding D, and he may elect to just grab that AK and back on up. But at the same time, Scriv, you need to take a risk. You need rounds. I mean, they might as well just go for this. No reason not to. You're buying next.
Ooh. Crispy stuff from Dim K. It looks like they will avoid any kind of craziness here in the end. Impulse going to take down Exis, and Shane, well, yeah, 3v3 kind of looks doable, and like you say, they may as well go for it, buying in the next, but the 1v3 not so much. He wants to hold on to the AK, even that's not going to work out, and level up. Picking up a 9th. Not dropping too many players, really looking good, and at this point, with where the money is at and how large this bubble has expanded. I think they're happy to drop a couple players here and there and even out the economy, make sure that they're not kind of getting that negative amount, if that makes sense. I don't know how you would like technically describe it, but they're not overcapping. There you go, overcapping. That's a good word for it. They're not overcapping their finances and therefore able to make the most out of these rounds that they're winning. Another opportunity for IZAKO BOARS to shut it down once again and hopefully get some rounds in their favor, and that is a great way to open up. Exus, quick flick, quick headshot. And I like this. In the apartments, 2 players to hold things down. They are somewhat split, but they ain't sleeping. Shane going to find the first. The second angle doesn't work, dink for dink. And of course, the AK going to come out on top of that. Unfortunate, but it is still a solid advantage for IZAKO BOARS to work with here, Keith.
Nice off angle from Tao there. Big fan of how he was playing that angle. And Tao's going to drop a nade. Damage onto D. This one should be wrapped up. Do not see a way Level Up can pull this off unless D gets gifted one and then the second. So he's playing around the gap in the smoke. The nade will not hit him. And Level Up are looking for this aggression down banana. They hope it's here. They want it to be here. And Exus is posted. Misses his shot. Will not repeat. Shane sprays down one and he leaves Dimke. Up in hand, a 1v2. If he picks either of these players, things get interesting. But that's kind of the hard part, isn't it? Finding Exus, who's tucked away in towards apps. Oh! How does he hit that no-scope? Dimke, what is that? 1v1 now. Gonna reposition in towards porch. Here's him coming. Will hold towards default. The jump up not spotted. Sui will save IZAKO BOARS from embarrassment. That would have been unbelievable.
It is a shame. It is a shame. That would have been incredible. Would have been absolutely incredible. Could you imagine as well the scenes in the IZAKO BOARS scamp? Like, goddamn, they would have been destroyed. This is insane, man. Ooh. One for the highlight reel for sure, but unfortunately in the end, not able to take it over the line. The CTs are able to get around. They are mortal. Level Up are mortal. They can be killed. But of course, like everyone on the server, they respawn into the next round and they'll look to shut things down, make sure that IZAKO BOARS can't string any together, demolish the economy, all that good stuff, right? There's kind of a blessing in disguise, perhaps, particularly with how far ahead they are. I feel like Level Up finding this round would just crush the CTs for the rest of this half. Hitting the double digits, probably going to go beyond it. So a really, really key round, arguably just as, if not more important than the previous for IZAKO BOARS. Quick boost up coming in onto the porch. He'll actually go all the way back onto the flower beds there. So, might not be expecting this at all. Molly coming in to clear the corner, and they might, off the back of that, be satisfied that there's no one around. Might not even look that way coming out of the door. The boiler. Shane, his position is so key. Great flash over the top, but it's not really designed for him. They will peek into it, and he's able to take the frag onto Dimke. It costs him so much HP, but they're happy to find the early opener.
Yeah, just peeked a little too late off of the flash. It was already worn off by the time he peeked. If he peeked a moment earlier, would have been a different outcome. Now dropping all the utility or the boards to hold off this execute from Level Up. And so far, so good. They have the op on site. The rifle support's there. Avis just needs to get one with his MP9. He's lost a teammate on site. And he can't even find Necrogenesis, who doubles in. D will find the site player, and it still falls apart for IZAKO BOARS. And you nailed it. This round's oh so more important than the last, because this will harm your economy and just not help your resolve and motivation. They're going to have to save. This is 10 on the T side for Level Up. Beautifully done. Even after getting demolished in the opening duel, they still bring it back.
Yeah, it does kind of look like overall Level Up the stronger side, the more dominant and in control side on Inferno. IZAKO BOARS appears it was a bit of a fluke. Man, save or go for it. What are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we taking a late peek when you've lost the round? You can't get the defuse. You just throw in your gun away. and you look at the money here, that's probably the decision to now save or half buy rather than reinvesting completely. A bit frustrating, to be honest, even from an impartial standpoint. You like to see them make clear decisions. The indecisiveness is indeed their downfall coming into this round. So double digits hit by level up, as we said, would be the case, obviously. Now looking likely to get the 11 because the save isn't strong enough to facilitate a full-on buy. I don't know, man. I don't know. Level up in for a stonker of a first half here, and might just give them enough room to work with going into that second. Now, IZAKO boards are more prominent on the T side by quite some margin. I think they're like a 65%, maybe a bit more than that T-sided team on Inferno. But they still need a buffer of rounds. They still need a cushion of rounds to work with for sure. So I feel like they need to hit the 4. They need to get the best possible, and maybe not going to be the case. I am talking about it like this round might be over, which is not necessarily true. We'll see. You never know.
No, you're 100% right. But with how this has been going, where are you going to find your motivation? A pistol round's not going to give that to you. You need to win a rifle. And it has to happen on the CT side before you move on over. Exis, nice close to brackets with his deagle. He's going to wait for some sort of contract or some sort of noise to justify his peak. It's not going to happen. The library smoke will come in. Sui's going to go through it, of course. It's his only play, and he's just caught in the open. Now they can wrap onto this A site. Exis maybe can find DimK, but no, it's not to be. Nothing's going IZAKO BOARS' way from 1 Deegs to rifles. The T's have built up an economy from even 4 to 3 rounds ago. That's enough for the half. And I'm painting a grim picture for IZAKO BOARS, but it's going to lead up to an even better comeback if it happens. And what I need to see from the rest of the IZAKO BOARS script is just non-stop consistency from this round forward. Even if, like, there's no point in saving anymore. If it's a 2v5 retake this round, you just gotta go for it. You're out of options.
Look, man, you paint a grim picture, but it is a grim picture. You know, like, there's no beating around the bush with this. It's not looking good at all. In so many different ways. Financially, they've not been there in this half, but they've just been getting rolled over. Aggression coming in, and Impulse, it's easy frags for him, or an easy frag singular. However, still sticking around, and Exis is, yeah, a bit too timid. Not going to take the repeat. He goes to try and find a trade frag. Doesn't happen for him. He's in the mid-room and gets clapped. They're just not hitting the mark. They're just not hitting the mark at all. I think they're so deflated after losing that first map, and as this one becomes tough, it becomes even harder to rebuild a decent mental. Tower, the only one left. He is heard. Oh, he does land the dink, but Impulse drops him regardless. And the 12th round coming in. So 3 of the best IZAKO BOARS can hope for, and they're going to have a very, very poor buy to do it with. Really not looking good at all, Keith.
Yeah, not looking good is a perfect way to describe this, isn't it? This is a must-win round, and you gotta win it with, what, MP9s, the lone M4 and Avis. Not ideal, to be modest. Level Up have had the economy, the advantage, the momentum, whatever you want to call it. It's been in their favor. A 1-for-1 trade. Tao's gonna try to find a fight with his MP9 on the close wall. The molly will help, and it will work out. Headshot on a Necrogenesis. Sounds like a game console, because it is. Ooh, what a headshot in from Avis to find AVN. I'll pick from Impulse. DimK is going to find one of the B players. One more B and one more down mid. I don't know how suspecting Level Up are going to be to this player in towards under. I wouldn't check it, but he does. DimK not taking any risk. He'll peek it, and Impulse knows he has him somewhat stuck. But I think he's just going to waltz to A.
Yeah, bomb goes down at the very least, so pressure not removed. Had a pretty insane clutch on this bomb site yesterday. Can he replicate? He thinks so. He hopes so. Planted for him. Do you have a kit available? He is, of course, low, so cannot afford to miss a shot. The smoke coming down onto the bomb as well is really not so hot. Ooh, Jesus. And Sui just destroys him. IZAKO BOARS will get the third. They soften the blow as best they can, but it is still a very hefty uppercut, to be honest. They are on the canvas, really struggling to stay standing at the moment, Keith. They're really not looking too good at all. We'll see. If they can get off to a strong start, get the pistol, probably the first couple of rifle rounds, and everything in between nice and clean, then maybe we start to believe. But that is a good run of, I'd say, 5 or 6 rounds, with some of those being kind of tough in there. So yeah, it's not going to be an easy task at all.
I want to take a look at the live odds, right? How have they shifted?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I do.
Are you sure, bro?
I do. I want our homie as a loop bet to hook me up. If not this round, yeah, okay. Not as much as I thought, but that is out there. Level Up, clearly the favorites in every aspect. Shout out to loop bet, our betting partners there. The boys, check them out in the banner below in the command and chat. But goes without saying, Scriv, but I'll say it because, you know, I like being the center of attention. Must win pistol round.
Grouping up outside of A. They've got Avis holding down Banana, but other than that, everybody is here pretty much for the CT side as well. Could be a bloodbath. First frag comes in. Second is traded back, but Necrogenesis going to drop pretty quickly. Oh, and they've hightailed it back towards the B bomb site. D needs to find these frags, but he can't. Absolutely messing it up. The trade doesn't even come in. Avis doing work, as Impulse will be the only one left, and he is so unsure. Sui gets the easiest frag of his life. An incredibly quick, incredibly dominant pistol to open up from IZAKO BOARS. That is exactly what they needed.
280. Now, they can't stop there. They gotta keep it rolling, right? You have to win against the Force by now. Make things very awkward. Shake things up a little bit. But I think they'll be able to maintain this. They have the weaponry advantage, clearly. And it's hard to enforce buys on Inferno unless if someone on IZAKO BOARS steps out of line, right? They break the passive safe default. But I don't see that happening for IZAKO BOARS. Just going to try to get AAPS control. They spray down Necrogenesis, who tried to get a little cheeky with it. And that's pretty perfect. That's pretty good.
Still not out of the question just yet, Keith. Do have these weapons available. 3 of them stacked on the A bomb site. They're actually dragging everybody towards A. So if IZAKO BOARS opt to go here, which, I mean, certainly an option. Looks like they're going to press the attack, not quite dedicating to it just yet, right? Tao on that Mac 10, dropping the bomb behind, being the info gatherer, as it were. But they are going to creep in. They are going to creep in slowly, and this plays into the hands of all these players, all these deagles and whatnot that are sat here into the crossfire, looking good. Impulse chimes in. D comes through with the CZ, and that's the man advantage. They now opt to hightail it back towards the B bomb site.
Yeah, they got the read. That's a bit of a stack towards the A site. A little messy collecting the weaponry from Level Up, but they are going to start the rotate over. No utility for the BOARS, Scriv. Yeah, there's no kit for Level Up, sure. They have man advantage. They can just trade out. If they can do that, this will be their round. But they got to go at a well-timed pace. Impulse going to try to get a nade to chase down. And a little bit of damage dealt to Shane. Now it's a 2v2. D's going to hunt. And it's Impulse with no armor, AK in hand. This should be a BOARS round unless he can land the headshot on Nexus. He has another nade he'll toss in. Down to 52. Can Impulse get the drop? A-punch would be an issue, and he hangs on. Robbery, but no kit as mentioned. They waste enough time on the BOARS side. Those kills, though, will matter come this buy, as you can tell.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, Impulse will probably grab some armor with this. But they will have to eco things out on the level up side of things. However, Impulse, you never know. He's been having a game. Certainly could deal some real damage. Already kind of costly. Wow. Yeah, they get the AKs out, and there's only one player who's that utility mule. But wow, I didn't think it was this bad. It's very, very, very close to the wire. Impulse, like I say, picks up the armor. That's all he'll get. Maybe could have seen him find like a kit or a little bit of utility. He does have a fair amount of cash available, but then, of course, probably wants to get the AWP in the next round. It's not taking too many risks. They know where the AK is at now, moving towards the opposite bomb site, hoping to lock that down. Oh, indeed. Cheeky shoulder peek. He's definitely spotted, but he's also seen them. Information coming in. There's a big flank through here from Dimke and Impulse. I don't know that the timing's quite going to be there. I suppose we'll find out. The main front-facing frags coming in nice and easy. Dimke does find one. Impulse on the AK. Lines them up, but he can't find the frags. That was so close. Another frag for Dimke does come in, but the round itself taken over the line and not quite as costly as the previous. That all is okay, I guess, for IZAKO BOARS. They would like to win some super dominant ones, but of course up against an AK and a nice little push and pretty much the entire CT side on that A bomb site in quick succession, you can hand them a couple of deaths. That's okay. They're happy at this point to be getting the rounds on the board. But in future, against, you know, future half buys, future ecos, I think they do need a couple 4 or 5 players surviving to build up some cash. See here though, Impulse on the AWP. What can he get done? Level Up's Danger Man on this CT side. IZAKO BOARS coming in with a speedy one. I like to see this. The rotations from the B bomb site are almost instantaneous. D's still over there, but 2 very quick players towards this A bomb site. They are going to be needed as Impulse only picks up 1, and there it is. That's your teammate, Necrogenesis, my guy. He's standing strong in pit, almost finding 3. Not going to be the case. This round is so chaotic. Oh my goodness. They line up. Exis lands the headshot onto the player behind Dimke. The Level Up are able to take it over the line in the end, just about. Oh my goodness, give me, I need a drink. And we're back. You get to see it on the replay. That was mad. That was mad. That was a crazy round, Keith.
I'm not surprised anymore with whatever happens this game. D goes wild, and Level Up do get punished for their aggression. 3 towards B, but they're only able to get the 1 and damage Scriv. As Tao looks to move up towards half wall. Bomb on his back. Damage has been dealt, which means these M4s are going to one-shot majority. Maven could use some help. Smoke on CT. He'll hug the wall. And they'll boost up Impulse. Can he find 2? The spray is wild and not controlled well. If he found one, perhaps they can try to force his retake, Scriv. But with no kit, just 1 molly. That's round. That's it. That's 7 for the BOARS.
Well, they are indeed coming back. T-side, as we expected, looking a lot more comprehensive from them. You would expect Level Up, particularly due to the fact that they're keeping it competitive here and kind of back and forth once the rifles have come out. Sure, it's not as clean. Sure, it's not as dominant, but they're like holding on to their lead and still chiming in. Nothing too worrying just yet. IZAKO BOARS, these are kind of consolation rounds. We talk about momentum and confidence and all that kind of stuff if there was another map to come. But of course, if they drop this, it will be over. That 2-0 coming through. and making it to playoffs. I mean, pretty decent for both of these teams. Of course, you get into the money once you get to the semis, right? So kind of would be nice to, at the very least, feel like you've accomplished something financially. There's a lot to learn already from these two teams, right? But if you can make it to the semis, and honestly, if you can make it to the semis and play against Dig, now that would be sick in a lot of different ways for these teams. So much to learn from those players and playing against them, I'm sure. So yeah, IZAKO BOARS probably not going to enjoy bowing out quickly on this second map. Should be able to get an 8th here, Keith. Nothing really invested from level up. We do have a Deagle, a flashbang from D, but nothing beyond what was already saved. Oh, Haven.
These pistols not finding anything, and I mean 0. No damage. Nothing going their way. D yet to land a shot with his USP. Not that it'll really necessarily make a difference. And it's going to be a full-blown execute. Necro is here with this M4, the first on Axis. D will take contact, then Necrogenesis will come through the smoke, and here they go, swinging wildly. 2 for him now, and they realize, you know what? They're probably all here. We're just going to run to A. That's a safe play. It's a smart play. Avis holds for 1. He'll try to cut off Necrogenesis from rotating quickly to A, but they have out-rotated him. They have the pace, they have the timing, and they'll have an 8th.
Will Necro be able to save that? That's kind of the next question. I mean, if he finds another frag here, it's decent damage done. And when they're on the comeback train, IZAKO BOARS, as I said earlier, need some nice clean rounds to just give themselves like a massive cash injection. Doesn't look like they're going to hunt too hard. Just take the round on the chin. Thankful for it. And happy to be another step closer. But now level up the ball in their court, of course. They need to come back. They need to have an answer here, because IZAKO BOARS are really picking up the pace, gaining that confidence, and we have talked about the prominence of their T-side many, many times on this map. So if they can get into a decent enough position, the comeback is not completely out of the question for sure. Like, all the parameters are here. It's just a case of actually getting past, of course, the uncontrolled variable in the form of level up. With the AWP in play, Impulse would look to start things off nicely and do some more damage, as he so often does on that great green gun in his hands. Nothing coming early on, though. They're not giving any chances. No, like, wide swings. No even attempts at a fight from Exodus. He goes for a bit of a late one on the ramp, but ultimately nothing coming. Bit of early damage done onto Shane, but other than that, a very quiet round.
This is a big one. This is the motivation one, right? This is the bring it back to reality if you're level up. Don't let this continue to run away from you, because it easily can. And Impulse, ready, willing, and waiting. If they don't flash, if they dry peek, if they try to do the logs peek, what a flick from Impulse. Through the half wall. Shane is gone. And that's an opening pick from the man. As soon as his op comes out into his hands, that's what they needed. That is what the doctor ordered for level up. And IZAKO BOARS are going to settle into their B hit. It's been very successful. And I think they're going to do it one more time.
You gotta hope it works. Oh, the rotation coming in pretty quickly here from Dimke as well. DT Smoke is somewhat late. They're trying to get ahead of it. Oh, no. Disaster strikes. Impulse capitalizes as he just ring around the rosy. In and out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thanks very much.
Add a 5th to that one, Scrib.
God damn. Yeah, an ace overall. That's sick. There was 4 on the kill feed. Yeah, of course he opened up, right? So, hot damn. Hot damn. And this is just... Oh, I'm not sure if I'm a big fan, dude. Smoke comes in. I don't know if it was intentional to go ahead of it, but Impulse essentially gets those frags off the back of, I would say, 3 of them being distracted by the guy rushing in from the smoke. So, disaster. Absolute disaster. We've been praising them non-stop on their T side. And that one mistake, it just all falls apart.
Wow. Just as I said, what they need from Impulse is a big round. And he'll do it. Tim K is going to do the typical molly towards car. Keep these banana players at bay. The half wall smoke blooms beautifully. And while the Boars leave one player towards A to do what they do best, to just default. It's looking really good for level up, because look at the utility on IZAKO Boars. 2 flashes, one will have to be used towards banana, right? Or towards over, like, an early pop flash for CT. D has one more smoke to slow this down, but they have the right sight. They've narrowed this down to 1 player. If D can get a pick and live, they can play for the retake. But he's put himself in a risky position. Beautiful flash. He'll have to live. And we're going to have a 5v5 retake. You rarely see these. But when it happens, it's always mad.
Could be a bloodbath here. They're not quite sold on it. I think they're going to save.
They're saving, okay.
Yeah. I saw these 2 players on A, like, didn't move at all. So, I mean, that's kind of respectable, to be honest. I don't think they quite realize there's a couple players with the weaker weaponry. Maybe could have chipped some of them down, use their utility smart, but you can go for the 50-50 play, or you can go for the, 100%, get him in the next one. There's no need to be greedy here, Keith.
And not wanting to give up their guns, wanting to build that CT economy. I respect the hustle from Level Up. No reason to really force that and put yourself in an economic woe. Right? Keep the double ups, get full utility, and just restart. I mean, really reserved from Level Up. Really great call from whoever made that decision. I like that. Not a lot of teams would go for that. Or not a lot of teams would take that save. A lot of teams would force it. Get down on themselves, be stuck at 14. Not Level Up. They're chasing, they're grinding for that 15. It's within reach now with the op still in play. Shane doesn't have the cash to upgrade, right? He was hoping to get an M4. Tao, the same kind of situation. And this is going to be an A heavy pop. Get ready, Scriv.
Oh, Impulse able to just about get through things here. He and Haven, my goodness, that was messy. They were coming in from all sides, but they stay alive. All the frags for the CT side right now. Impulse is just not missing. Map and series point off the back of it. Another sick individual play from him. Maybe that's why they went for the save in the previous Keith. They were just like, all right, Impulse has not got a kill, so we can't win the round.
Unreal. He is just locked. He is in the zone. Ace, 3K, 4K, whatever it is. It's impressive. 23 and 10, by the way, with this op on the CT side. Going for the run boost pick. Met with a flash. And he's even going to push into halls. He'll make sure no one's doing the jump up. He's going to hold for this. He'll hear it coming. And he may elect a late mid peak. But he's just going to drop the molly or hang on to it and just kind of wait. This is a halls pop all day for the Boars, though, Scriv.
Absolutely. Waterfalling it out, getting desperate. They're able to 1-for-1. That's kind of decent. There's still 2 more players to get through in on the site itself. Now just 1 in the form of Impulse, of course. Can he do it again? No. Only good for 1. But despite the madness, despite the chaos on the A-bomb site, it's still even in terms of the manpower. And the bomb is yet to be planted. Smoke begins to dissipate. They don't really have very much to keep them at bay. D gonna drop Avis in pit. It's all onto Shane to keep them alive. A great little Molotov. Buys him a bit of time. Smoke going to go down on the top of it, but they're already coming in thick and fast. Finds them both. Oh, the clutch. Double spray down. An ace from him to keep IZAKO Boars alive. That might be the turning point that they need. 5 more to go. That one comes close. Maybe they don't want him to be as close as that, but they stay alive another round longer.
They almost overwhelmed Shane. It was so close to just swarming him and making him miss that one shot, but he won't. And look at the buy from IZAKO boards. It's Mac 10s. It's all they can afford. AK from Shane. X's gets the op, but that's it. Level up. This could be the round to take it, and they're getting aggressive in Banana. Him doesn't close check close wall. D will. And impulses up through the wall, through the corner, able to connect one more. Tao pushing forward, grabs the AK. Lucky to be alive, but it's a man advantage for level up, Scriv.
God damn. It has been another crazy round. IZAKO balls on the back foot, needing to stay alive once again. They are lost for answers. Molotov coming in, clearing out one angle. Impulse, though, not really forced away from it. Teammate is slightly. D going to jump past him. Impulse is trained. Great little molly coming in. Going to try and go for a banger. Doesn't work out. So, banana control. Secured by the IZAKO boards. They now have to use this. Take this inch. Turn it into a round. 45 seconds left. Still playing and biding their time. Not even going to push into the B bomb site. And you know what? It's a really good read from Level Up. They are happy. They are confident with the rounds they have. The fragging power that everyone has been providing. They're happy to split up. So IZAKO boards think that they've probably weakened up the A bomb site here, Keith. And it's not the case. There's still 2 players locked in at pit, ready for them to hit the site.
Yeah, this pit setup's going to be hard to break without utility from IZAKO boards. AVN didn't necessarily need to use a smoke. No molly for the boards. But he's going to give himself a bit of a one-way, right? Cheeky little angle for it. Through the smoke comes Towel, cut down. AVN now, smoke, working to his favor, finds the head of Exodus, and this may be it. So he's going to try to get them planted. Necro going to push up, and that'll do it. Level Up will take it over the boards. It took them some time. They had to grind for it. But they fought tooth and nail for this win, Scrib. What a 2-0.
Hot damn. Hot damn, yeah. Stealing the train away, as we said.